Hello, folks. How's everybody doing? Tuesday, depending on where you're at, I guess it's 7 for me. Justin 5, right? Like
Yeah, about 5:07 right now.
living that nice sunshiny life.
Not today. It's pretty
Not
gloomy
today.
out. We're gonna get rain tonight.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
So, oh man, rain. We're getting that. I think Friday. So there we go. How are things, Justin? It's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a few months now since we've been on here and talked together.
Yeah.
So yeah, but things have been good. Things have been really busy, and we're getting some good news lately too.
Yes. We can talk about that first. We'll get started. So, um, yeah, Thunder says it's raining here too. Thunder, where you're in between, right? Or I can't remember where you said you were at last week. What did you say? He's got one good thing happening today. I found my Lego Boba Fett. Can relax now. Heck yeah. Limitless Nerd over on Instagram says, "What's up? What's up?" So, yeah, let's we're here. We got an awesome guest, folks. We got Justin here, the Nerdy Bookshelf. Make sure you go Justin, go ahead and let's you tell everybody about yourself a little bit as we stare at your beautiful background.
Oh,
Every time you're on here, that's an awesome setup, man.
I don't know how much of it you can see. Like I can see a lot, like on the screen here, but then on the little screen on the live here, like you only get a little piece of it.
It
But
depends on where they're watching.
I'll move over. Yeah, this
So
has been curated for the last couple years now of just collecting books and
nope, that won't work.
artwork from all over. So
Nice, excellent.
yeah,
Holy
it's still
crap!
work in progress.
50 says it's on Southwest England. Isn't it like 1 o'clock over there? 50?
Yeah, it's late over there right now.
You're 6 hours at least. Dang, son. Appreciate that hopping on here. So go ahead, Justin. Tell everybody about yourself, about your channel, what you do, who you are.
Oh man, talking about myself. Well, I run this small little Instagram page where I just talk about all the books that I read and comics, and I like to support different artists. Um, Mostly, I stick in the sci-fi fantasy realm, but I love to read a ton of fiction when I can, even modern fiction. But yeah, I love to have fun and talk about the books
Nice.
and talk
It's
about Star Wars with you.
it's kind of how we met, right? We were kind of chatting Star Wars books or something, I think, back and
I
forth.
think yeah, we met because I kept popping in and commenting on your
Yeah,
lives, and then we started conversation from there.
man. Yeah. So there we go. What are you reading right now?
Um,
Last time we talked, you were taking a little breather from Star Wars.
yeah, yeah. I was taking a little breather. I'm trying to finish the Stormlight Archives by Sanderson. I'm about a little more than halfway through. I'm also reading the novellas and standalone books that like come in between.
Those things are
So I'm
monsters,
reading
man.
Warbreaker right now. This one's a thick one.
Yeah.
Um, Reading some horror right now as well, some short stories. I'm also reading the Hellboy anthology uh,
Nice.
by Dark Horse. So yeah,
Nice.
quite a few things at one time. And very, very soon, a couple of my buddies who are over in the UK right now were inspiring me to jump back in and finish the High Republic. So that'll be pretty soon as well.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. I just finished up a re-listen to, I don't know, maybe you know this or not, but Chronicles, Dragons of an Autumn Twilight, uh, back old Dungeons and Dragons stuff from when I was a kid.
Okay.
With
Okay.
Tracy Weiss and Hickman, I think. It's kind of a Chronicles, the whole Dungeons and Dragons. I just need a little bit of a break. And now that Low Red Moon's out, and I'm trying to get myself to dive into it, but I'm struggling a little bit with motivation to get into that story, I guess. So
Does it help if you play the game to get into the
yeah, I
story?
think so. It would help if I had time to play the game again. Like last time I had to it was last Christmas. I was getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, playing till about 9. Because I couldn't sleep anyways, because that's kind of how I was wired as a coach when I was coaching. And then I'd play for like 4 hours every morning and beat it. So I wasn't like taking up my whole day playing video games. So I was getting up super early.
Yeah.
But I really got into it. I really enjoyed it.
Same here.
50 says he's reading the Tarkin book. That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
book. The Tarkin story kind of shows you a lot, kind of his upbringing and stuff. I can't remember what planet that's on, but it's like a savage kind of. If you don't survive, too bad.
He's a He's Chandrillan, isn't he?
Is he? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it takes place on there, but I think he grew up on Chandrilla.
I just remember that book was like they just kind of like dump him off, and like if you don't survive, then
Yeah.
you're weak. Kind of Spartan-esque lifestyle. So, but yeah, all right. So you haven't finished. So you were reading the High Republic. You can get back into that. That'll be good. You'll enjoy the way that finishes up, I think.
Yeah,
Some good
I'm
stuff.
waiting till I think the omnibus for the comics are coming out. I want to say in April, so probably around that time I'll read the rest of the books and the comic at the same time. So
Nice. I got to ask you before we dive into this Maul stuff. How did you feel about the big game? A little 36-second blurb they gave us. Are you happy with it? Were you mad about it? Like it's very divisive. Like I mean, surprise, people were upset about something in the fandom and in the United States. So, what did you think of it? And
I think it depends on if you have the ability to be patient or not. I thought
mm,
it was fun. It's like kind of a spoof on old like
Budweiser
Marlboro
commercials.
commercials and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
the old Budweiser commercials. Yeah,
Yeah, Budweiser, all that stuff. I think it even had what's his name, Sam Elliott doing the voice, possibly.
yeah, I think so.
I thought it was fun. It was cool to see Tauntauns
Oh, it was
pulling his
awesome.
carriage. Uh, but I mean, I wasn't upset about it. I thought it was cool to see. I don't think it has any bearing on the story whatsoever. We
No,
probably won't see that in the movie.
yeah. They did release some Lego, or I don't know if they were released today or they were leaked today. There's some Lego. I would have had time. I would have brought them up, but there's Mando on a chicken walker from Clone Wars, like those like single manned ones. And we saw
Yeah.
that in when we were in Japan. We saw in the trailer they gave us there was a really bad looking scene, but that was like running down this hill and stuff. So that kind of like solidifies that actually is part of the movie. I thought maybe that was just like filler
Hmm.
when we were in Japan, but apparently not. And then there's a new Razor Crest. I'm not sure what it'll be called. And there was a character named Ward, which I'm not sure who that is yet. And then I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah. So I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of like I don't know if it's just being older, and I was like, okay. So yeah, it was just. I mean, it's a little disappointing because I was like hyped for like I want to know a little bit about the plot. I don't want to know too much. I just want to know a little bit. I just want a little taste. But we
Right.
are 3 months out. Like we're just gonna sit on that for 3 months, So
We'll probably get one or two more in the meantime because I think we've only
oh
gotten two so far, right?
yeah, I mean they've released. I don't even know. Did they release that one that was on Fire and Ash, Avatar Fire and Ash? Did they release that on YouTube? I can't remember. Because like the
Um,
only one I found when I typed in was the one from like 4 months ago.
I just remember though there was like the big one that they did. That's the most recent one, and then there was the initial one where it just showed him going through the AT-AT walker,
Yeah.
where he's just taking them all out, and then you see it fall down the cliff. That was like I think the teaser,
Yeah.
and then there's like the main one that's happened so far, but that's it.
Yeah. It hasn't been much. I kind of feel like if you can be patient, this guy's talking. I love a tauntaun. Don't get me wrong, man. Hoth is my favorite. I don't know what it is about that battle, about that planet,
Hmm.
about those creatures, but I just love them. And seeing little Grogu put his hand up on a tauntaun's nose, I thought about melted.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I think we'll probably get something here shortly. But they got us talking. They got the fandom all riled up. And then we'll see. I'm sure we'll be getting some stuff here soon. I mean, again, 3 months out, a little bit more. So
and a lot of times what they've been doing recently is they'll drop a trailer unannounced. They've been doing
yeah,
that for the last couple of things that we didn't even know we were getting one, and then it's
yeah,
out of nowhere. So who knows? We may get something like that again. Just got
yeah.
to be patient.
Just a random. Yeah, that's what I think too. And I mean, I feel like I kind of feel like people are being a little selfish and whiny when they're like, "Oh, this is so stupid." But I mean, I get it. I get being disappointed. Like I really do understand that. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. There's worse things that could have happened.
Uh, yeah, people are just too quick to show how upset they are about something, and they want to be
Yeah.
vocal about it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I thought it was fun. I liked it. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get one, but I'm like, we'll get one eventually. And it just kind of that anticipation. I don't know, like they're kind of building it, because I mean, I wasn't super excited for this movie in the first place, but as we're getting closer, the excitement's kind of starting to build for me. I don't know
Yeah.
about I don't know how you stand on it.
I'm kind of treating it like season 4, where I know it's
Yeah.
coming, so it'll get here when it gets here, and I
Yeah.
know we're gonna have Maul before then,
Yeah, we do.
and so we've got a lot of things coming right now. So I'm not upset about it.
Nice. All
I've got
right.
plenty of other things to keep me busy while I
I'd
wait.
say if you're reading Sanderson, you got plenty of stuff to keep you busy.
Yeah, and then yeah, I also have a book signing I'm going to for another author, and I'm like, I better read some of his stuff before I get to that, so that I'm
Yeah.
not completely lost when people start talking spoilers
Yeah. Nice.
for
Well,
another.
that'd be
That's another
awesome.
big fantasy author. Yeah,
Very cool. All right. Well, I'm glad to see you're not turning into a Sith over this like a lot of people are. Right? People are freaking out and losing their minds. But
trying to maintain balance.
there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. 50, if you're still there, 50, how did you feel about that little trailer? I'd be curious as the people in the chat over on Instagram. Let us know how you felt about that. Were you upset? Did you like it? Are you excited for an actual trailer? But Justin and I were talking, and I'm like, what do you want to talk about, man? And it was Maul. So you've been
Yeah,
wanting to talk about this, huh?
of course. Maul's one of the coolest Sith, or former Sith, out there.
All right. All
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
all the topics. Yeah,
let's talk.
that's
Let's talk some Maul. Let's start at the beginning, though. We'll get into Shadow Lord and Maul, or the Shadow of Maul comic here in a little bit. But how old were you the first time, or do you remember where you were when you first saw the Phantom Menace? You see the double bladed lightsaber, or even the first time we see him where he jumps off the blood fin or whatever and attacks Qui-Gon. Like, what's your first memories of Darth Maul?
I just remember being completely stunned as to, like, especially that scene when the hangar doors open and he pulls out the double bladed lightsaber and the Duel of the Fate starts. I
Yes.
remember the hairs on my neck standing up at that point. Because
Mhm.
what was that? In 1999, I
Yeah.
was how old was I? I was 17, I think, when that came out,
Nice. All right.
and I was just completely blown away by like what Star Wars, from what I remember, what Star Wars was back in the 70s and 80s, and what it had become now. Yeah, I was completely amazed by, especially his character too. I'm like, I need to know more about him just because he's so badass.
All right. So then, yeah, I remember that. I remember I was I was out of the army. I was back. I was my first or second year in college, and I went out to Cedar Point to work in Ohio, amusement park. It's in Sandusky, you know where Tommy Boy's from, Sandusky,
Yeah,
Ohio.
Sandusky, Ohio.
And
Yeah,
so
so they have like
and
Callahan parts.
yeah, Callahan Auto.
Yeah.
And so and we went and saw it in the theater, and I was like, man, that was awesome. It's pretty cool. I was kind of, I'll be honest with you, and I've said this before, like I was kind of one of those guys that, I don't know if it was my age or just I was edgy in my 20s or whatever, but I really didn't like the prequel, or the prequels very much. It just they felt too new and not lived in for me.
Yeah.
That was kind of my big issue with them. But the Darth Maul end scene, just like you said, the whole double bladed saber, the whole fight, that was phenomenal. And then he gets sliced in half and falls down a chute, and I was like, well, damn. What?
You and
Like,
the
I
rest
was
of
like,
the world.
what's happening? And I mean, and that was for me. Like, I see this in '99, and then of course, when does Clone Wars come out? Like 2007 or something like that. Like, I mean, it's a long time, right? I don't even know. I can look that up, I guess.
Yeah, I'm blanking. Oh, 2008 when the movie came out.
Is that when it is? So the
Yeah, when
show
the
probably
animated.
came out 2009 or so. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's 10
shortly after that.
years. 10 years we had to sit and wait.
Mhm.
If you were like, I mean, you went from being 17 to almost 30. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, there's
and in that
lots of life
meantime,
changes going on.
I think we only got like a couple of the books
Yeah.
to hold us over, and some comics with him, and that's about it. We didn't have anything else with him.
Yeah, 50 says seeing Maul show up in Solo was a bit intrigue. It was big intrigue. Yeah, it was. That was awesome. And then they did nothing with that. So I'm curious though, as to like when we get into the comics and we get into the new show, if this will tie in, the stuff we saw in Solo or whatnot. Of course, we get him back. How'd you feel about like the spider legs and the rage and the anger? And I mean, bringing Maul back was gutsy. I thought crazy, completely unexpected. I mean, I felt like it turned Star Wars kind of. I mean, it was awesome now, but at first, like, I mean, what were your thoughts on that? Like, just seeing Maul come back from the dead, basically.
Are you talking about when Savage finds him and he's got the
Yeah,
spider legs? Yeah, that was really cool, especially with his like weird cackling feral laughter that he had. I think I just watched that again like last night or the night before, and hearing Sam do that laugh was just it's chilling the way he was able to do that. Yeah, it's a terrifying creature with him coming at you like that already with his glowing eyes and the horns, and then he's got spiders already creepy as hell. And you got that thing coming at you? No, no way.
yeah, good stuff. Good stuff there. And then, I mean, how are we feeling? We don't want to spend too much time with kind of like backtracking on this, but how do you feel about his journey up to where? I mean, because we have a lot. We've got stuff, and sometimes I get canon stuff messed up in my head a little bit. But we have all that happening. Then we have the stuff with Siege of Mandalore, and then we're getting 50 says I don't like spiders. Yeah, so I feel like
Yeah,
that's
they keep bringing them back in all these different
they
iterations of
they
the
do.
Star Wars.
How do you feel about Maul's character, his arc? I mean, as of right now, we've gotten all this really great stuff with him. You know, in Clone Wars, he shows back up in Rebels. He has what I think at first, again, I was like, "What is that saber battle?" But I mean, I think it was pretty poetic. How do you feel about his arc and everything like that so far? Like everything we know so far, because obviously they're going to fill some stuff in for us, which is what we're really going to talk about. But how do you feel about what we got so far about Maul? Because like you said, like you think he's one of the most interesting characters. Like, why do you think that?
Just because it's so mysterious about like where he came from and stuff, but it's also like he is a living tragedy. How he was, I think he was stolen from Mother Talzin by Palpatine, or by Sidious to be trained, and then I think a lot of his training had torture involved in it as well. Um, and then just to see him so many different times be betrayed by his master, to be left to die. He's had to come back in so many different ways with like spider legs, and then prove himself again, and then he got the mechanical legs again, and then trying to overthrow the Sith as part of Crimson Dawn or whatever it may be, or as after the Siege of Mandalore being part of the Mandalorians and stuff. It's just such a tragic character how he tries to succeed so many times and then just fails every single time until his ultimate end in Rebels, which is like one of the most tragic episodes ever.
It just shows you the difference between. I love it for the light side and the dark side of the Force. I hate it from all because it just shows you like the light continues to grow and the dark just kind of gets stuck, you know, and he just never learned.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up getting set up. And I feel like he's almost like Anakin Skywalker to me. Like this is like what Anakin would have been had he not been found by the Jedi. You know, you get the opposite where like because Maul's so passionate, I feel like he has like these, you know, and I know that probably sounds like a weird comparison, but I mean Anakin's downfall is his compassion for other people and his loyalty and stuff. And Maul's that way. He's like super loyal. You know, he keeps wanting to do things, and I think it would have been a great Jedi had the Jedi found him. You know, but then he just gets like cut down, and it's just him and Ventress, I think, have these like Shakespearean type tragic stories, and I always feel like terrible for those two.
Who's that character in Greek mythology that keeps pushing the boulder up the hill and then it rolls back down over and over? And that's exactly Maul's story.
Yeah,
where he keeps trying the same thing over and over without realizing like it's not going to work.
Yeah,
over and over again.
So
that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's a really good, because that ending with Twin Sons was that season 3, I think, like episode 23 or something. I can't remember exactly, but I know the episode Twin Sons episode, just him showing up and all that happening, and then I remember just being kind of like dumbfounded by the lightsaber battle at first, like that's it, and then Ace Cabrera, who was on a podcast I was listening to, and the way he described it and kind of it changed my whole outlook on it. But it also made me feel even worse for Maul because it's just like, guys, this guy never learns. Like he has learned nothing from anything. And it's almost kind of, we're getting into this comic and this show coming up, and I'm super excited for it. I'm assuming you are too, but it's almost kind of like, no matter what happens, we know how it ends, kind of thing, and it's just
Yeah.
it's rough.
And I think there's also a video of Sam Witwer describing that scene too, where he talks about how Obi-Wan uh, tries the three different stances in while they're about to square off, knowing which one is going to work best against Maul, and he's kind of antagonizing him as he does it too.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you've seen that one, but that is a great video to watch of Sam describing that scene.
Yeah, he talked a little bit about it at Rebel ScumCon last year down in Texas, and then I've seen him do it. But I don't know if I necessarily heard that one, but yeah, he breaks it down beautifully. Like the man gets Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Sam does, like, big time. So it's pretty awesome. 50
I
says
got
Maul's
to,
backstory is fascinating to learn about. The same with Grievous. Yeah, I would love some Grievous stuff in canon. That'd be pretty cool. So
it would be cool to see more on-screen fighting between Grievous and Maul.
oh, that'd be all right.
Yeah. But we won't. I don't think we'll see it in this show because Grievous
No.
is dead by this time.
Grievous would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Maul's back, and then that kind of leads us into it. I guess we can start talking about the show and the comic a little bit here. How, when you heard, the rumors were starting to sprinkle in before Celebration, and of course we got the trailer at Celebration. I don't know if they showed that on YouTube or not, but how were you? What were your first thoughts when you found out we're getting Maul Shadow Lord?
I couldn't be more happy. As long as it fits like within the timeline and makes sense as to where they're putting it and why. Like I will take more Maul stories all day long as it makes sense,
Yeah.
But I understand a lot of people's gripes where they're like, how many times are we going to bring back this character that died in 1999? That we all thought was dead. So, but I mean, if it makes sense and they're able to fit that puzzle piece in the story, then I will take it all day long.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I was pumped when I saw the trailer, and then when they showed that new one, because the one at Celebration was all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new one we got, that was, I mean, I was like, what? And we did a whole breakdown. Charlie and I, we watched it, and I don't know why I was home that day, but we ended up having to hop on and break that down. That trailer is phenomenal. I mean, just
Especially
the
when he does
action.
that spin, that lightsaber spin.
Yes.
Takes the stormtroopers
So,
out. Oh.
I mean, because you've got, I can't even remember. I think my notes are over here from that trailer, but you have two Inquisitors. I mean, there's so much going on in that trailer. And, and it's all going to start off with the comics too. We're getting all that information. Maybe I have my notes here. I don't know.
Yeah, you have First Brother and Merrick are in that trailer, both of which were killed by Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if there's anything there to that, because I think she kills First Brother in the Tales of the Jedi show, and then she kills Merrick on the show where I think it releases the
green gas.
Yeah, I guess that's from when Mother Talzin revived him or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of what I think most people thought. Yeah, because the was it First Brother or whatever, or which one's the other one? Because you got Merrick and you have, is it First Brother
in the show? Yeah,
okay,
it's the
so
one from the Tales of the Jedi show.
Yeah, because in the Ahsoka book, what was that? He shows up. She's on that planet doing stuff, and then they changed it a little bit in that animated Tales of the Jedi. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing. She takes him out. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. That trailer was bonkers, got me even more hyped up. And then I read the stuff for the comic, where this is going to be like a police show kind of thing. Like there's going to be like a procedural, like he's getting chased by the cops. He's getting chased by Palpatine. He's getting chased by, probably other bounty hunters and other crime syndicates. Like Maul's going to be a very, very busy man, running around getting chased. So what are your thoughts on all that stuff? Like just all the different connections and all the stuff that's going to be happening in the show. Because we're only getting 10 episodes of season 1. We'll see what happens. I mean, rumors season 2 is already in the works. Some stuff that we've heard. Can't go into a lot of detail about it, but they've already started planning for it or something. So
I wonder I wonder if they're going to have the story of the show and the comic move concurrently to where the events of the episode will affect the next comic in the series, and then you read that comic, and then it connects to the next episode, and they have them interweave like that.
That'd be cool, because it did
Or
say
is
that
it
it's going to they're going to kind of explain things in that first comic, because that comes out March 4th, so that comes out a little less than a month. We're going to get the first comic of Maul or Shadow of Maul comic, and it's going to introduce the characters, at least the cop sides of things, the Brander Lawson guy or whatever his name is, and Two Boots
and Two Boots? Yeah.
yeah. So I know we're getting that side of it. I'm not sure too much, but I'm a big Medebek Musa Bakoff fan. He's the one who wrote for the Jedi Knight series, and he really put out a good story there. Sometimes the comics are just kind of there; they don't really do much. They don't move the needle. But I like the Jedi Knight stuff, so I'm excited for this. And I wonder too, do you think that because we get one in March, and then the show starts in April, right?
April 6th, I think.
So we could get a second one right there at the beginning of that, and then the third one would come out the next month, and then it would be over, and then we'd kind of get an ending, or maybe we get like a cliffhanger or something in the comics.
Do you know how many issues there are going to be in this series?
I think it's just 4. I think.
Okay.
So
actually, I can. Where's my phone? I can look that up. Maybe issue 1 will have like some backstory before it leads into the show, and then who knows? Maybe they'll work side by side from then, like the comic and the show. The story will supplement each other, or something like that. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I want them to work together. It's tricky, and it's a weird release schedule, in my opinion. Like it's unusual for Star Wars to do it. We've gotten 2 episodes premieres, and then you get like 1-1-1 and random 2, and they did that with Bad Batch on season 3, but they're really kind of pushing that out and getting it done before the Mando movie comes out.
I think they timed it to where the final episode drops on May the 4th as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll be going into the Mando movie after that.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Now, there isn't a whole lot of time in between this show and Mando. So what if they are doing it because something in that show affects what happens in the next season of or in the movie of Mandalorian? Just like they did when I think it was season 1 of Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker came out at the same time. They both showed Rey and Grogu force healing, which had never been seen in Star Wars before, but they timed that perfectly to where they each happened the same week.
It'd be interesting if they tied this in, because from my understanding, this show is taking place right after the Clone Wars, right after the fall of the Republic, right? The beginning of the Empire. And then you have the Mando stuff happening a few years after Return of the Jedi. So it'll be interesting to see if they make a connection or something. That'd be really cool.
I think Mando season 1 takes place, isn't it like 12 years after Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, somewhere I've read anywhere between like 7 and 9 years, but I mean, at this point, I don't know if it's been specific, but it might be.
Oh, I'm mixing up my timeline in my head real quick. I'm going to take back my other statement about those two affecting each other, the Mando and Maul, because I was thinking, I don't know. No, now I'm looking at like a 30-year difference in my head. It was shorter in my head for a second.
But Maul doesn't get taken out until, right? I mean, a little bit. I mean, well, I guess it's a few years before A New Hope starts.
Like 5 years, no, 3 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So it's not like a massive jump, because then those movies happen pretty quickly, and I mean, so he's still around. But yeah, I mean, you never know with Dave. He weaves a pretty good story.
Yeah,
it would be kind of cool though if something sets off and you see something later on, or some weird connection. That'd be. I'm always here for. I love the connections. I don't know what it is about connect. Maybe it's the history teacher in me loves those connections and putting the story together a little bit. But I think that's awesome.
I think when they're able to do that, it really shows that they put a lot of thought into it, and to show that it's all part of the same fabric.
Yeah.
And it's a way of telling the fans, like, hey, we know how much this means to you, so we are trying to make sure that it all connects together perfectly.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
I agree.
So, what do you think? So it says that he's going to, I wish I could find my dang notes. I thought they were sitting down here. I apologize.
All
The
right, what's your
planet.
question? Maybe it's on mine.
He shows up on that planet, and it says in the release for the comic that he's looking for somebody. Like he's got something, and he's mad about something, or he's doing. So he shows up on that planet, and he's like looking for someone specific. Like he's got a mission. He knows what he's doing. Like he's not there just by accident.
Well, the planet is Janix.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
and apparently it's the entire city is built inside of a giant crater on the planet.
Nice.
It's got its own self-policing force to where the Empire isn't really established there yet. But it also does have its crime syndicates there as well that are, fighting for power.
Yeah.
I've seen some people theorizing that there's a scene where it shows a bunch of the crime lords at that table and they have that shootout. There's also broken pieces of like a protocol droid there on the table, and people are speculating that maybe that protocol droid has some information inside of it that all the crime lords want, and so that's what they're fighting over.
Okay,
that's just one theory that I've heard.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, that trailer again, another trailer that just did not give us much information. I was pretty surprised to see a third. I mean, we knew about the Twi'lek.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's obviously speculating that is going to be Darth Talon eventually.
I don't think it will. I think it's a completely different character. Yeah, because Twi'leks, if they're sticking with the timeline of the Legacy series, the Legacy comics, that series takes place almost like 200 years later after the events of like Return of the Jedi.
No, I didn't know that.
And Twi'leks, I think, from what I understand, live roughly around the same times as humans, like 70, 75 years, roughly average. There have been some that have lived up to 200 years with their, like, the assistance of the Force and stuff like that. But they don't have a huge, long lifespan like Wookiees or Yoda or anything like that. So
yeah, you're right. It says 70 to 75 standard years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and Legacy takes place like 150 to 200 years after Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
Unless they're just trying to pull her out of Legends and put her in canon in a different timeline.
You think it's given the fandom's reaction to the video, the little what do you call it, TV spot during the Super Bowl? I mean, most people, I think, and I've seen, like, they're all assuming that's Talon. Like, we're going to have another meltdown on our hands with the fandom menace if that ends up not being Talon. Or do you think it's more better off not being Talon? Like, where do you think? Like, I mean, I guess you said you don't think it is her. Do you think that that's going to cause like some backlash because everyone wants Talon? I mean, I don't care either way. I just want a good story. I don't want it to be
Talon because I like where Talon fits in the Legends timeline and the story that involves. Because I'm hoping that with Dave Filoni behind the helm, I'm hoping that eventually he will dip into that area of Legends and tell those stories like he's been doing with other stories as well. Yeah. I don't want him to pull stuff out of it and put it in a different spot on the timeline. I'm hoping it's just a new character what's her name? Devin Izara is her name. And she's a pink-skinned Twi'lek and not red-skinned. But that's not to say she won't be tattooed like Darth Maul was,
Yeah, that's what got me and everyone I know after Japan are like, well, it was just, they just do that on purpose to throw us off. I'm like, you think? I was not sold on that being the situation. So I'm just kind of
I don't think it will be. I think that's a lot of people because how much fan art has gone out about Maul and Talon being master and apprentice. Like that's been fan art for years and years. And so people have been wanting that to become a thing. And they're thinking like all their dreams are coming true now because Maul might have a Twi'lek apprentice, but I don't think it's the same person at all.
Yeah, I kind of hope not. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't want it to be her. I don't think people like Talon for the right reasons anyways. So if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. It would be neat though. Wouldn't it be cool? I think if like we get the Simon Kinberg trilogy and Darth Talon ends up being like someone like Rey or somebody has to fight, like that would be because then like they a lot of times they kind of like will want to like have a female villain and you got and you got the female hero. It would be a kind of a cool story, somewhere. I mean, I know that's not 150 years down the road, like you said, but it seems like a little bit better fit. Maybe I don't know.
You mean if they were to put her as a main character of a show or movie, you want it to be like female villain versus female hero type of thing?
Well, possibly. I mean, I don't think it has to be that way, but Disney and a lot of things have done that before. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It seem like they can't have, heavens forbid, you have a man and a woman fighting each other or something. Like it doesn't happen. Because usually, if you think about like movies and TV shows, there's always like if there's a man and a woman who are on the good guy's side, there's always happens to be a man and a woman on the bad guy's side, and they always
Yeah.
end up having to face off each other. And it's never like, they never switch. It's always like, oh, okay, I got this person. But I mean, like, Jedi are a little bit different, obviously, with the Force powers and things. But just speaking based on most television shows and things like that. So
I think that's actually exactly what happens at the end of the Legacy comics too, where the Sith Lord has a male and female Sith assassins with him, and then Cade Skywalker, the Jedi or descendant of Luke Skywalker, has a male and female with him. Neither one of his people are strong in the Force, but he definitely has like his male female counterparts to him as well.
yeah, it's just kind of how they usually do things in movies and shows. I mean, you see it like with and again, like I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, it's whatever. As long as it fits the story, I'm fine with it. But you just kind of get those moments. You got them in Avengers with the ladies on the Avengers side. You also got that moment in season 2 of Mandalorian, which I think they handled it much better in the Mandalorian, where everyone was just kicking butt. And you didn't even realize it was all the ladies in the show just trashing fools.
Or are you talking about when they're on what's his name in the ship? On Gideon's ship?
Moff Gideon's ship. Yeah. They just lay waste and you never even think about it. They never bring it to your attention. And I think it's handled so well compared to how they handled it in the Marvel movies. They're like, all right, girls, it's time. Like, I feel like you're selling them short by doing that. Like
like at the end of Endgame when they're
yes.
when it shows like all the women, all the female heroes
yes.
handle it. Yeah, no, I love that scene when they're infiltrating Gideon's ship.
Yeah.
And then after it's all done, you're like, oh wait, that was 3 women kicking butt there. Like, and you don't even notice it because it's handled so perfectly.
Yeah, just kicking some butt.
Especially when you see what's her name? Ming-Na Wen's character.
Oh, she's awesome.
You see her like dodging laser bolts. Like she's not even trying to deflect them or anything. She's just dodging them and not even hiding behind anything.
Yeah, I want more of that. I think that's probably what we're supposed to get with Marshals of the New Republic, but you know how that went.
Yeah, fingers still crossed.
Yeah, kind of out the window. But yeah, so I mean, we've got a bunch of different characters. We've got Brandon Losser, who's going to be the cop, Two-Bot. That's what it says here. Rook, because we got Mandalorian Loyalist.
Yeah.
By Vanessa Marshall again. We got Master Iko Diodaki, Dennis Haysbert, and I'm really excited for him.
He's a master, right?
Yes, I think his voice in a Jedi Master is going to be phenomenal. Like I was like, because we saw that commercial or the thing. I was like, who is it? And then he got the voice actor, and I was like, oh, that's going to be perfect. He's got that deep kind of resonant voice, and just kind of, I think that's going to be fantastic. I hope he lasts more than like an episode or 2.
I don't know. That might be what causes Devin Izara to turn to Maul for guidance, because she loses her master right away in the first episode or 2. So I don't think he's going to last too long.
Boo.
I know. I think that's just the formula that's going to follow.
Yeah, I kind of thought there was going to be like an Ezra, Maul, Kanan like triangle for a little bit, but is that kind of weird that you're doing that and you did it in Rebels? You know what I mean? With Maul and the being in the middle again, all over again. Like it's kind of very similar. So,
but I mean, look how many times Star Wars Stories does a lone wolf and cub story.
Yeah.
And she's got to lose her master for her to turn to Maul for guidance. And it's going to show her tragic story finding guidance and like some sort of partnership with Maul. You know, she's got to learn from someone.
Do you think we get Crimson Dawn and Kira in this series? Maybe not this first season. If there's like a second season, do you think it goes? Because I mean, it kind of has to lead up. Because
I think we will.
we've got about 19 years before they got like 19 years they can play with, right? Well, about 15 years of time where Maul's, you know, the Clone Wars have ended and fall of the Empire until Maul faces off with Obi-Wan on Tatooine. I feel like there's about 15 years there, kind of, right?
I think you're right with that, but I think even before that, there's about 8 years after. I think it's 8 years after Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith to where he's leading Crimson Dawn to the Solo movie.
Yeah.
So there's 8 years that they got to play with there to where it shows him start leading Crimson Dawn. So I think we'll start seeing the seeds of it at least.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And I think we'll see Kira in animation.
Yeah, I kind of holding out hope that we'd get more of her. I mean, I love the Solo movie. I wanted more of all that, but I feel like comics and animation is probably where that's going to live. Unfortunately.
Yeah, probably. But I think we've already seen, like, aren't we getting Dryden Voss in it as well in this show?
I think so. Did they show him?
I think they did. I could be wrong, but I think they did.
I feel like, yeah. So
I know we saw him briefly in Clone Wars.
That's it. That was it. Was that Bad Batch? Or was that with Clone? It was Clone Wars.
It was at the end of season 7 when he was showing his Shadow Council.
That's right.
And then Ahsoka walks in on it and sees it happen.
That's right. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, that scene. I couldn't put that scene. That's the thing. Sometimes you got these scenes. You're like, all right, where did that happen?
Yeah, that's hard to keep it up.
There's
it's
so
hard to keep
stuff.
like, where was this? Where'd this fall? Where'd this fall? It's hard to keep them all together.
All right. You think any surprises? What are you thinking? Like, what's, you know, he's got all these stories, and I mean, they don't really put his son on here, but I know that Brander has a son. He's like a single dad, and he's trying to like help his son, you know, not go down that path or something like that. I think I read. So how do you feel? Like, where's this story going to go? Like, you know, is it just going to be this, what everyone thinks, and it's going to be Maul trying to manipulate Devin and tomfoolery, or is there going to be more to it?
I don't know. I think it'll show that where he's trying to guide her in how to gain power. It's going to show him trying to take control of the syndicates again because he wants to take down Sidious and the Empire. I think we'll probably see more Palpatine now that he is in there. Now that he's like the Emperor and no longer just like Sidious. I know this is happening along the same timeline as Bad Batch, so maybe even if we don't see them, maybe there will be a connection. Maybe we'll see something about Ventress at some point. Maybe she'll pop in an episode or two and have like a small little spot.
I would love that.
Yeah, I would. If I'm going to put money on any Easter egg, I would say we'll probably see Ventress at some point.
I feel like they kind of need to explain to us why they brought her back. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool they brought her back for Tales, but why if they're not going to do more with her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like her death in Dark Disciple was such a huge thing that to bring her back has to have more meaning than just 3 episodes in a Tales of series.
Yeah, like you can't bring her back for 35 minutes of animation.
Right. And then to tell her that she can't be with Quinlan.
Yeah.
You know, the one who brought her back.
Man, I think, God, they should just make that into an animated movie or something. People would eat that story up.
Dark Disciple. Dark Disciple, like animate the entire film.
Yeah, just do something. I mean, I know it was supposed to be the season 6 or something like that. Season 6 or season 7 of the original Clone Wars before they canceled it, and then obviously they brought back season 7 later on. But that was an arc in the one of the seasons that was coming up. Because it was written by Lucas's daughter, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, because that interesting thing about that would be too is like she has a Padawan, kind of. She's got that boy with her.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but yeah, they end up leaving together at the end of they ride off into the sunset on the.
Yeah, So you've
Yeah.
got these two characters that have this. I think Asajj and Maul kind of have this similar trajectory where they just kind of keep getting cast aside by everybody, and but Asajj kind of, I mean, she learns more and she changes, and she's, I think, for a lack of a better word, smarter than Maul is when it comes right
Yeah, you're
down
probably
to it.
right. You're probably right.
Um, but it would be interesting to see that, and it'd be kind of a cool comparison that you have these two characters that very similar beginnings with the Force. Well, kind of. I mean, I know she had a Jedi Master and all that stuff, but she gets mistreated by the Sith. He gets mistreated by the Sith. It would be neat to see the difference where Maul has this opportunity. He could change things. He could turn things around and do what he's supposed to do. We know he's not going to, or maybe he does. What if he does? Like, what if he changes his stripes and then something happens to Devin and just sets him off again or something? You know what I mean? Like, that's why he's so mad and crazy whenever we find him with Ezra and Kanan.
I think that's what's Maul's biggest flaw, though, is he doesn't know how to change or adapt for the better. He just keeps trying the same thing over and over, and that's why. I mean, he's so full of just rage and power hungry that it blinds him.
Yeah.
And then I don't think he has it in him to change and adapt for the better, or to make better decisions. I don't think he has it. So, which is obviously why he, falls to Kenobi at the end.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think, it'd be interesting though. I mean, I think you're probably pretty much spot on with his character, but it would be neat to see just a couple years of like him kind of getting it, and then something happens. I mean, I'm just trying to like fill
That
out the
would give
story
him
'cause
a layer.
it just can't be rage and fighting. Like,
Yeah.
Dave's a better storyteller than that, so I'm kind of trying to like figure out what he's got planned prior to it.
I think more so that Sam probably has. I think he had some credit in writing this too, because he understands Maul more than most people.
Yeah,
And so I think if anyone has a chance to write a better story for Maul and to give him a good layer like that, where he may be learning and being able to grow, but then ultimately something breaks him again, I think Sam is the one would be writing that, not Filoni.
yeah, that's true. 50 has a good question. So when Maul falls down the shaft in two pieces, how is he found and by who? What is his rehabilitation process? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Do you think we get flashbacks? Because from my understanding, it's like, he survives. He doesn't die because he holds on to his hate, and it kind of builds him. And he survives on his hate for Kenobi, but the rest of it, spider legs, and then obviously we know Savage finds him. But that would be interesting. Maybe some flashbacks of when he first lands on the trash planet. That'd be kind of sick, wouldn't it? Like, just some flashbacks of like, because this will be that could work.
To show how he survived, and then in between that and when Savage found him on Lotho Minor.
Yeah, I think that'd be all right.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see some flashbacks there, to see what happened in between there and how he got from point A to point B there.
Maul's a businessman. He's focused on his own game. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Definitely a businessman.
It is interesting though, like his character, because he knows at this point, this is after season 7, and you're right, 50. He is a businessman, but he also knows what he's up against. He's up against the Empire that's controlled by a Sith Lord that's already whooped his butt, killed his brother. Like, what's his motivation? Is this going to be a whole thing like it was to get that super weapon in Rebels, or some kind of Sith artifact or something that he thinks, like, is he trying to set the Syndicate so he can become more powerful and take down the Emperor? Because for him just to kind of willingly put himself out there when he's already lost, it seems a little bit crazy.
I think he believes that he can defeat the Emperor one-on-one, because he thinks the Emperor is weak, and that's why the Emperor is trying to gain more knowledge with the cloning powers, and trying to do, like, what is it, force essence transfer to a clone, so that he can keep living forever. I think he's aware of the Emperor's vulnerability, and he wants to exploit it and ultimately defeat him. Who knows? Maybe he wants to take over the Empire instead of destroy it, because he's looking at that as the ultimate power in the universe, and maybe he can take it for himself.
that brings up a good point. Do we see a Vader Maul showdown in this?
Is he aware of Vader at this moment, though?
See, I don't know.
Because this is
I
what,
mean, he
right
knows
after.
Anakin's about to fall, but I don't know if he would know that who. I mean, he's probably not dumb. I mean, he's probably smart enough to be able to feel. I mean, he fought Anakin. He might be able to sense him through the Force when he's fighting him. If he does show up, because like if Maul defeats 11th Brother and Merrick, then the Emperor's going to have no choice but to send Vader after him, right? And then we
And
could get
that's
a
probably who we will probably see Vader in the show too. Then see like a showdown between the two of them.
that could be like a good season 1 finale, right? A
Yeah,
little showdown. I don't know. That'd be kind of sick. How do they handle that though? Like, how does that go? Because I just feel like Vader gets beat up all the damn time. You sit there and you see like he gets whooped in. Kenobi owns him until he doesn't want to, and he still owns him even in that fact. In A New Hope, he kind of one ups him, even though he lets him slice him in half. Obviously, where it all started, and then the stuff that you see in the Jedi Survivor games when you're Sir Yunda, you know what I mean? Like you do that to him, and just other times, like does he just put
and
the
then
beat down on them all, or they like evenly match? And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like
Ahsoka defeats
Rocky.
him too.
It's like Rocky versus Apollo, and they knock each other out, kind of deal.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the same thing with Maul when they rely too much on their hate and their rage. It blinds them to being able to defeat their enemy, or defeat whoever the Jedi is that they're fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That'd be
and that's
interesting
why
though.
that's why the same thing happened when Ahsoka faced him too, and she cut off half of his mask.
Yeah. And then they duplicated it in Kenobi. Everything, oh, that
Mhm.
was a cool scene. I'm like, yeah, it was when it happened in Rebels.
Yeah, was it the same? I think it was the opposite side though of the mask.
Yeah, it was opposite side, but it was cool. I liked both of them, and hearing his voice change the way it did, that was pretty sick.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, I just, man, now I'm all fired up for Maul Shadow Lord, damn it. Every time we talk about this stuff, I'm getting all fired up for this and for Mando and stuff. Like, it's going to be a fun couple of months, especially once we get into that. Um, just that little trickle we're going to get, right? He started March the 4th. I'm going to be there knocking on the door of my comic book shop at noon. Let me in. I need my
Yeah,
comics. So,
yeah. I was
man,
looking at the covers of them too, and some of them are pretty cool looking.
they have some fantastic art.
Yeah.
So, that'll be pretty
There's
cool.
some. I'm usually just. I used to collect every cover, but I changed it up to where I'm like I can only afford to do one cover of each issue now because
Yeah.
it takes a toll. But there are some beautiful looking covers out there right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, I may have to collect more than just one. I mean, some of these are absolutely insane.
Yeah, those are gorgeous covers. And they got some Funko Pops I think they released already, or they're out. I don't know if they're out yet, but I know that they've got Funko Pops for this show and some other things too. So they're behind it. They're they got the merchandise ready. And
I've seen, yeah, Target's pushing some of the figures out now too.
yeah, having been around Sam last, we got to Rebel Scum Con is a super awesome. Uh, it's basically like a miniature celebration because it's just Star Wars Con, but it has like this small feel to it, like small town feel to it, even though it's really, really big. And you get these like intimate settings kind of with like Sam Witwer, and they're just telling stories, and you can tell how excited and like how proud he is of the show. That was in
Yeah.
August of this year, so
Is
or
that the
of
one in
this
Dallas?
past year. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're a Star Wars fan and you have the ability to get there, I highly suggest it to people that are listening and stuff like that. Like it is, I mean, there's not, I don't, I've been to celebrations, the last 4 celebrations, and you have such access to people and the people who run it. A little shout out to Rebel ScumCon, but like the people who run it are super friendly. They do a lot of things like the virtual cantina with Spencer Jawitz and those guys do a good job doing the special events. And then you could be walking down the hall and you're walking beside like a person from Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like the first year they had it, I was sitting down with the woman who played Barriss Offee, and I cannot remember her name, but I was sitting down with her boyfriend or husband, She just came over and sat down with us, and we're just chatting. I'm like, like freaking out. Now it's gotten a little bit bigger because it'll grow, but I still had a couple moments like that where you just kind of bump into somebody because you're all in the same hotel or whatever, and it's everything's so chill. So it's a lot of fun. Just kind of my little piece for Rebel Scum Con. You get a chance, check it out. So usually, like I think the first week in August or something like that. But
I would love to go. Yeah, I almost went on the last one, but I couldn't swing it.
Yeah, Sam was there, really passionate about it. It was really cool to hear him talk about it. And he told us more than we thought he would. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I met him in Pasadena early 2025, and he was so excited about the show, and he wanted to talk about it without giving stuff away. But you can tell he was really excited about it. He was proud of it. And I think he had a lot to do with the creative control of it too, because they're not going to go to anyone else to play that character. So they're like, whatever you think is best for this character, we're gonna believe in what you say.
Yeah. Because he told us that he would always, all the time, like whenever we're doing stuff, he'd be like, well, what about this? And he's like, Dave would be like, it's not Maul's show. Like this, Maul's a character in this story. It's not about Maul. And so they had all this stuff he kind of wanted to explore. And I think that we're going to get to see all that now. So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
April can't come soon enough.
No. Do you have any final thoughts? Like, I mean, just on this whole show, what are you thinking? I know you had lots of notes.
I think we covered all the notes that I took.
Nice.
I really hope that people accept the fact that it's probably not going to be Darth Talon. I want people to not be upset about that. First,
Star Wars fans are so willing to not get what they want.
Yeah. and just enjoy how cool this story is going to be. And it may be one season, it may be a few, but just enjoy how cool this story is going to be of Maul building up to all the syndicates or taking control of them to eventually start Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
And I just think this is a great story that we need. I would love to see a novelization of it too at some point.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would like that.
Get a really cool cover on there with some dark black and red edges to it. Yeah, I would absolutely love to get one of those. But I think it's just going to be a fun show. It's going to be super dark. We're probably going to see a lot of people dying in it. Yeah, it's going to be super, super dark, and I love it.
Awesome. We'll have to have you come on. Maybe we can have you come on. I know the shows are dropping on Mondays, but maybe we get you come on and we can recap a couple of the shows or something once it starts dropping.
Yeah, so, I would love to.
What does 50 say here? He says, I'm eating a lot of Kinder chocolate eggs lately. They have Star Wars toy characters. I think they're 10 to collect. They got 8 of them. All right. Which two you're missing? I'll try to find them. I'll try to get them for you.
I got to go to the store and get those now. I
didn't know they had Star Wars ones. That's awesome. So that could be a UK thing though, as well. But Justin, I want to thank you for hopping on here with us, folks. If you're not following him on Instagram at the Nerdy Bookshelf, you need to get over there and follow him. I also would say thanks to 50 being in the chat. I know it was a little quiet there tonight. We had so many people there last week. Just everyone's exhausted from that 36-second Mando spot recovering. But I also want to take a second and just ask everybody to keep the mailman and his family in your prayers and your thoughts. He's going through it right now, and he's been blown away by the kindness and compassion and generosity of everybody that has listens to Explore the Force and Jedi and the Mailman. And so just, thank you from Mike and myself. Thank you so much for that. And then Justin, again, glad we got to hop on here and chat some Star Wars. I love looking at your background, man. You need to send me a photo. After we're done here, I want you to just turn around, send a photo of that to me. I need to see it.
I will. I'll send you a photo of both walls.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see you guys next week.